Let me ask you something most men never talk about openly, but privately wonder about all the time. When was the last time self pleasure actually felt the way it used to? When your body responded instantly without effort, when firmness came easily and naturally, when sensitivity was sharp and alive, and when climax hit with that powerful, draining release that left you feeling completely satisfied. If you're over 50 and those moments feel like they belong to a different lifetime, like something that faded gradually without you even noticing until one day it was just gone, you've probably started accepting that this is simply what happens with age, that there's nothing you can do except wait for it to get worse. But what if I told you the problem isn't your age at all? It's your fuel. What if the foods you eat or don't eat are quietly determining whether your body can still produce the kind of blood flow, nerve sensitivity, and hormonal power that made self pleasure feel effortless decades ago? I'm Dr. Rachel Morgan, a urologist, and today I'm going to reveal 6 specific foods that can bring back the firmness, the sensitivity, and the intensity you thought were gone for good. First, let's really understand why food plays such a powerful role in how your body performs. Erections are not random events. They are mechanical, chemical, and deeply tied to your circulation. Think of it like hydraulics. Blood must rush into the penis, fill the spongy erectile tissue, and then stay trapped there under pressure. For that to happen, your arteries need to be clear and healthy. Your blood vessels need to be flexible enough to expand. And your body has to release plenty of nitric oxide, that natural chemical messenger that signals those vessels to open wide. When all of that works smoothly, erections feel strong, sensitive, and effortless. But when circulation weakens, the entire system suffers. Less blood makes it into the penis, sensitivity dulls, and release feels flat instead of powerful. Without good blood flow, masturbation can start to feel more mechanical than pleasurable, like your body is going through the motions, but not fully enjoying the experience. And here's the important part: this is not just about aging. It's about what you're feeding your body every single day. The right foods can literally boost nitric oxide levels, support testosterone production, and nourish your nervous system so signals from brain to body stay sharp. On the flip side, the wrong foods, heavy in sugar, alcohol, or processed fats, clog up your arteries, slow testosterone output, and leave you feeling heavy, sluggish, and uninspired. That's why some men in their 50s or 60s feel more energized and responsive than men half their age, because they've kept their fuel clean. So let's reveal the first powerhouse food that can bring that vitality back: beets. Beets are one of nature's most potent circulation boosters. They're loaded with natural nitrates, which your body quickly converts into nitric oxide, the very chemical that opens up blood vessels. When nitric oxide floods your system, it tells the smooth muscles in your arteries to relax, allowing more blood to surge through. More blood means firmer, fuller erections and heightened sensitivity, the kind of sensations that make self-pleasure feel alive again. But beets don't stop there. They also lower blood pressure, taking strain off your heart and arteries, and they improve stamina, which means you can last longer without feeling exhausted. It's no accident that world-class athletes drink beet juice before major competitions. The nitrates give them measurable improvements in endurance and performance. Now imagine applying that same benefit to your most private moments: more stamina, stronger blood flow, and a body that doesn't tire as quickly. The best part is that beets are easy to work into your diet. You can drink beetroot juice in the morning, about 8 ounces, roast them, and add them to salads, or simply stir beet powder into a glass of water or smoothie. Many men notice a difference in just a few weeks: stronger morning erections, quicker response when aroused, and a return of the sensitivity they thought had faded for good. Beets are proof that food is not just fuel, it's medicine. And in this case, it's medicine for your masculinity. The next food on our list is one that almost feels too good to be true: dark chocolate. But let me be clear. I'm not talking about candy bars loaded with sugar, milk, and artificial fillers. I mean real dark chocolate, the kind that's rich, slightly bitter, and contains at least 70% cocoa. That's where the magic lies. Cocoa is bursting with flavonoids, powerful plant-based antioxidants that do wonders for your circulation. These compounds help relax your blood vessels, improve blood flow, and reduce the inflammation that stiffens arteries with age. In other words, they keep the highways carrying blood to your penis open, wide, and flexible. Now, here's where it gets even better. Dark chocolate doesn't just work on your circulation. It also works directly on your brain chemistry. Cocoa stimulates the release of dopamine, which is your brain's pleasure chemical. Dopamine is the same neurotransmitter that surges when you fall in love, when you laugh, or when you experience something intensely satisfying. More dopamine means stronger arousal, more excitement, and more powerful orgasms. That's why men who make dark chocolate a consistent part of their diet often describe their climax as richer, more intense, and more like the earth-shaking releases they experienced in their 20s. What's remarkable is that you don't need to gorge yourself to see results. Just a small square or two of quality dark chocolate, about 2 squares of 70% or higher cocoa content, a few times a week is enough to start making a difference. Choose real dark chocolate, not the overly processed stuff. Look for at least 70% cocoa content, ideally higher. A little savored slowly is all it takes. Over time, you'll find not only that your mood lifts and your circulation improves, but that your self-pleasure sessions feel more alive, more satisfying, and closer to the experiences you remember from decades earlier. Another essential food for men over 50 is one that has carried the reputation of being an aphrodisiac for centuries: oysters. And that reputation isn't just folklore. Oysters are loaded with zinc, one of the most important minerals for male health and performance. Zinc is directly tied to testosterone production. And testosterone is the master hormone of vitality, desire, and firmness. When testosterone is low, men experience more than just weaker erections. They lose energy, motivation, and the spark that makes intimacy exciting. The release itself also feels muted, like the intensity has been turned down. But when testosterone is strong, the drive returns, firmness improves, and the climax has that satisfying kick that makes you feel alive. Now, I know not every man enjoys oysters. Some dislike the taste or simply don't have access to them regularly. The good news is you don't need oysters alone to restore your zinc levels. Pumpkin seeds, beef, chickpeas, and beans are all rich in zinc and can easily be added to your diet. The key is consistency. Men who correct zinc deficiencies often report not just stronger erections, but also a noticeable improvement in orgasm intensity, the kind of release that makes masturbation feel closer to what it did decades ago. If your self-pleasure has started to feel dull or flat, zinc is often the missing spark. And now, let me share a food that might surprise you: watermelon. Sweet, refreshing, and seemingly harmless, this juicy fruit has a hidden secret. It contains an amino acid called citrulline. Inside your body, citrulline is converted into arginine and then into nitric oxide. Yes, the very same nitric oxide that relaxes blood vessels and boosts circulation. In fact, some researchers call watermelon nature's Viagra because of how powerfully it influences blood flow. Here's why that matters. Erections are all about circulation. The better your arteries can relax and open, the more blood surges into the erectile tissue. Watermelon's citrulline acts like a gentle switch, telling your arteries to loosen up and allow fresh, oxygen-rich blood to rush in. Eating fresh watermelon or blending it into a smoothie can noticeably increase blood flow to the pelvic region within hours. And over time, when you make watermelon a regular part of your diet, it helps reduce what's known as erectile fatigue, that frustrating feeling when you can get hard, but cannot stay hard as long as you'd like. By keeping circulation smooth and steady, watermelon helps you respond faster, maintain firmness longer, and enjoy the experience more fully, whether with a partner or during self-pleasure. Think of it as one of the simplest, most delicious ways to keep your performance alive. Now, let's talk about walnuts. These little powerhouses might look simple, but they are loaded with nutrients that directly impact your performance. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, those healthy fats your body uses to keep arteries flexible and blood vessels responsive. When your arteries are supple instead of stiff, blood flows more easily into the erectile tissue, which is the foundation of firmness. But walnuts go beyond circulation. They also support nerve health. And nerves are the unsung heroes of sexual function. They carry the messages from your brain to your penis, telling blood when to rush in and when to stay. Without strong, healthy nerves, those signals get weaker, which is why many men over 50 describe feeling a kind of numbness down there, like the sensitivity has faded. By eating just a handful of walnuts daily, or adding other omega-3 rich foods like salmon, sardines, or flax seeds, you're feeding your nervous system the very building blocks it needs to function at full strength. Over time, this brings back sharper sensations, stronger responses, and more satisfying orgasms. Walnuts also support heart health and lower inflammation throughout the body, meaning the benefits extend far beyond the bedroom. And finally, let's finish with the overlooked champion of male vitality: pomegranate. This fruit has been revered for centuries, often called a symbol of fertility. And now, modern science is proving why. Pomegranates are absolutely packed with antioxidants, more than almost any other fruit. These antioxidants protect your blood vessels from damage, reduce arterial plaque, and improve overall circulation. Stronger, cleaner arteries mean stronger erections. Period. But pomegranate goes a step further by also supporting testosterone levels. In several studies, regular consumption of pomegranate juice has been linked to higher testosterone and improved mood. And when testosterone rises, desire, firmness, and climax intensity all improve together. The effects are not subtle. Men who make pomegranate part of their routine often report not just stronger erections, but also a noticeable change in the intensity of their orgasms. Instead of a weak, quick release, the experience feels fuller, more draining in the best possible way, closer to what it felt like at 25. Whether you enjoy the whole fruit, the seeds sprinkled on salads, or a daily glass of pure pomegranate juice, about 4 ounces in the evening, the impact on your performance can be profound. Let me share a real example. Michael, 54, an architect, added beet juice in the morning, dark chocolate in the afternoon, and pomegranate juice in the evening. By week 3, his sensitivity had returned, his orgasm intensity had doubled, and his morning mood was consistent again. Now here's something most men don't realize when they're working to improve their own performance. You can eat all the beets, dark chocolate, and pomegranate you want, boost your nitric oxide perfectly, support your testosterone beautifully, and yes, your erections will be stronger and your orgasms more intense. But if your partner isn't reaching climax, or if it's taking too long and you're losing confidence halfway through, that mental pressure quietly kills the very performance you're working to build. Here's the paradox. When she finishes faster and more intensely, your confidence skyrockets, your arousal stays high, and your body responds with even firmer erections. It's a feedback loop that nutrition alone can't create. In fact, I recently covered 5 specific positions that bring women to climax faster and more powerfully, and the men who use them report that their own performance and stamina improve dramatically simply because the mental pressure is gone. When you combine smart nutrition for your body with smart technique for her satisfaction, you're creating the perfect environment for mutual pleasure. So, what's the takeaway? If you want masturbation and intimacy to feel like it did in your 20s, you don't need gimmicks or pills, you need fuel. Each of these foods works on a different part of the system: blood flow, hormones, nerves, and pleasure chemistry. Together, they create the perfect storm for firmer erections, sharper sensation, and climaxes that feel as powerful as they did decades ago. Gentlemen, your best days aren't behind you. Your body is capable of more than you realize, but only if you give it the right tools. Eat these foods regularly, and within weeks you'll feel the difference. More energy, more desire, more confidence, and yes, more satisfying intimacy. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with a friend who could use a reminder that age doesn't define performance. Your vitality is waiting to be unlocked. This is Dr. Rachel Morgan.